Hi and welcome back, and by the way, Vader's Fist Strikes Back sounds terrible. But anyway, this is the last of these space type levels. Like that scene too. But you'll be seeing more of that later. But like I was saying, this is the last of the space type levels. And it's also the most difficult. And honestly, out of all the missions in the game, this one I found really tricky. And it essentially comes down to the time limit. Not this 3-minute time limit here, but it does get a bit worse later on. Now, of course, first of all, you have to destroy these like whale transport type ships, and it's obviously best to use the bomber. Now, something I should point out about the bomber is that you can fire these blue bombs. And you can see there, I'll try and do them in rapid succession. Now, I say that's tricky because I've said this before, but there's no like stamina bar for those bombs or an indicator, because sometimes you can fire one, and other times you can fire many. And I'm not really sure what defines that. There's no display and there's no stats for it. So my advice to you is don't bomb straight away. Like, don't bomb for a while, and then just rapidly tap the bombers when you're in range. And hopefully you'll squirt out a cluster, as it were. You know, to be a bit negative, and this is really nitpicking, and I'm only saying it because I'm looking directly at it, but these ships are kind of boring. There we go. They're just sort of grey and, yeah, they're boring. Just kind of like giant pills there. No, mate, you do that all by yourself. By the way, it is nice to see the the classic Imperial Star Destroyers there. Obviously named after destroyers, which is an actual class of battleship. And you look at their design, you can see clearly how they're influenced by modern day aircraft carriers. Well, like, to be fair, that's exactly what they are. Oh, now, when people talk about plot holes about Star Wars, one thing they bring up is the fact that shield generators are on the outside of ships. Now, again, I can't tell you the exact canon reason for this, but my guess is they have to be on the outside. You know, I think that was seen in episode 3 in their opening big space battle. And again, the thing I'll talk about was whenever you play this game, and like you play as the Empire, then you're shooting rebels, and then you play as rebels, and then you're shooting the Empire. You can often find yourself getting mixed up between who to shoot and who not to shoot. But then again, it makes the lock-on system really quite useful. You know, in my previous part, I called Tantive 4 a class of ship, but according to that, it's a Corellian corvette. So actually, I think Tantive 4 was the name of the ship, and the class of the ship is the corvette. Hey, I didn't notice that, but you know, the big Star Destroyer is actually helping me with blue laser beams. Now, a very important note here is I used the respawn trick, and the thing is, before I used it to save time, but in this case it's vital to save time, because I'll tell you this now, you have 10 minutes to destroy 10 fighters, bomb 4 turrets, and also bomb 6 engines. I'll tell you this now, that that 10-minute time limit goes down fast. Now for this, first of all, get the interceptor. It's a lot more powerful than your regular fighter, and you'll need that to get this done quickly. And of course, this first section here, if you don't get it done in like 4 minutes, you might as well restart the mission, because you are not going to finish the rest in time. And that's really the difficulty of this mission. It's the time limits more than anything else. But anyway, it's still nice to have a little space battle here. Speaking of which, when I see games gameplay like this, it makes me want like a new Star Fox game. If you're wondering, I don't have a 3DS and I haven't played the port to that handheld console. But yeah, for like a home console main series, give us another Star Fox game. And keep him in vehicles. Yeah, I was saying that I never really played Star Fox Adventures or Star Fox Command. And they certainly don't look bad, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just not really into it. And speaking of Star Fox, I know in recent years there was a rumour there was going to be a Star Fox Metroid crossover. Of course that turned out to be BS. And probably for the better. Because yeah, they're both space genres, but like the cartoony animals of Star Fox against the sort of alien styleness of the Metroid series wouldn't have really meshed well together. And speaking of Alien, you can tell it was a pretty big influence in the Metroid series. Because of the sort of, well, just the concept in general of a space marine killing grotesque aliens. And also the fact that the main protagonist is a female. And what else? Oh yeah, the main bad guy is called Ridley. Which is, of course, a tribute to Ridley Scott, who directed Alien. And who also directed Prometheus recently. Haven't really seen Prometheus, and I'm not saying it's bad, but I don't really feel the need to go out and see it per se. I'm not really hyped for it. Like when it comes to Alien, yeah, I like the Alien movies, but I'm not like a proper fan. I'm just happy to watch the movies and leave it at that. And something I do like is the classic Star Wars sound effects. And a good thing in the prequels is that they still keep those sound effects. And also the whoosh of the spaceships. Now, I can't remember how it's exactly made, but I think it's done by having a car go through a puddle of water, and they reverse it or something. Yeah, it's some weird crap like that. I also like how all Rebel ships are named after letters of the alphabet, just because their wings kind of look like that said letter.
We need to clear a path for our frigates to cover you. Use a TIE bomber to destroy their heavy targets.
Yeah, and again, I respawn on purpose. I mean, granted, my character dies, but I needed that time. I didn't want to fly in. I think I need those extra seconds to just run straight for the bomber. Although what's frustrating is that whenever you respawn from that point, sometimes you end up near the command tables, and sometimes you end up near in the hangar itself. And when I was playing this game, I was thinking, please spawn in the hangar. I need those extra, those extra 3 seconds it takes to run. Because I'm serious, and maybe I'm overrating the difficulty of this mission, but I found it a bitch. So anyway, at this point you have to take out these 4 turrets. And the time limit is really unforgiving. It's like if you can see me here making passes, and if I don't make full use of every pass I can, it's like a waste. Like if I fly over once or twice and miss the turrets, then I'm not going to have time to finish off the mission. Quite brutal in that respect. But yeah, really, I'm complaining way too much. It's like one really difficult mission. Boo-hoo. But oh well, at least my approach it from the top tactic seems to work here. Thank you, sir. And something I just noticed is that you can see the planet there. It's blue and green. And actually in Star Wars, most of the planets aren't blue and green. They have a sort of variety. And just think about characters. The most infamous character I haven't talked about is Jar Jar Binks. And yeah, he's annoying. And in most movies you get a comic relief, which is kind of annoying anyway. And yeah, actually that's a good point. In most movies, the so-called comic relief is annoying anyway. I've always found most of them annoying. But anyway, Jar Jar Binks. I'll say this now. He isn't that bad. Please, please put down your pitchforks and torches. I think the real problem with that movie is that the protagonists are kind of bland, and it's a kid that can't really act, and the kid has stupid lines like, "Are you an angel?" Sorry, I'm going to try and turn down the negativity here, because I'm playing a fun game. Yay! Oh, by the way, I'm not playing this live. But I guess when I talk, it sounds like I am playing it live because I'm sort of reacting to it. And I guess the whole point of that is that I'm trying to infuse some energy into the commentary. Try and make it a bit more vibrant, a bit more lucrative. Oh, and here comes the sections where we have to bomb the engines. And I like the logic of the officer. They can't jump without any engines. Obvious statement is obvious. And again, when I started this point, I was like, okay, I got 3 minutes to do it. Can I do this in time? And I think I just managed to do it. And again, maybe I'm complaining too much, but I found this mission quite difficult. Maybe you found it easy, or what have you. And keep in mind, this is on the normal setting. I would hate to play this level on the hardest mode. But then again, what changes with the difficulty settings? Because, even if they did something like, add more life to the engines and turrets and what have you, even something like that would make it really difficult. Or maybe they do something really terrible and lower the time limit. Heaven forbid. Anyway, I do like this the design of this toy bomber here. It's sort of, you got two parallel cockpits. I guess it's very reminiscent of World War II movies. And in fact, something kind of about Star Wars, when George Lucas originally put together like a rough edit. Like, they show people like a rough edit to show people what the movie might be. He actually used World War II footage. So, yeah, really, you've got Star Wars, and I mean this affectionately, it is a collection of cliches. He's put together Flash Gordon, war movies, samurai movies, westerns. You have heroes, villains, mentors. But the point is, it's done really well, and they're just fun movies. And I love how I have to compensate for the gravity. I sort of have to point upwards. I'm really worried about crashing into that thing, because if at this point, if my ship crashes, I'll have to spawn in the hangar, get a new ship and fly here, and then yeah, it's mission over. But luckily, with a bit of skill, a bit of persistence, I managed to get this done with 30 seconds to spare. That's actually not so bad.
Dispatch the 501st to the planet's surface. Yavin 4 will fall before the day is done.
So anyway, with that mission done, we will find ourselves in the events of Star Wars: A New Hope.
And so the battle over Yavin came to an end.
Well, by the way, I can't help but wonder at this point, the original 501st clones must be pretty rare. There must be like very few of them left. But oh well, there you go. And my rank is captain. Is that good? I'm not really sure.